What we're going to be looking at today is the Caterium and getting that sorted so we can get to the smart splitters. We'll also do the awesome sync and then optimize the network and build the space elevator. And if there's extra time, then we'll look at bringing over the resources from the location just underneath our hub and start bringing them over for transport for processing for later on. Let's dive in and get started. Okay, let's head through to the Caterium. So we need that for the MAM research. Oh, before I go, let's start topping up with extra resources. We should have quite a lot of reinforced now. Great, because those have been going for a while. So let's take some of those with us. Let's make sure we got our basics all sorted. Yeah, we've got 4 stacks of cable. Good on copper. Take some screws. Just top up the rods. We're going to be using a lot of concrete for foundations. And we've got 2 stacks at least, because we're using quite a lot of these stacks for the reinforced. So that should be okay for the base, for the foundation, for the Caterium little factory we're going to set up now. And then as soon as we've got extra reinforced plates and enough iron plates on production, we'll actually bring the materials over. But let's get started and just get the Caterium going so that we can do the research in the map. While we're here, let's just fill this gap up so I don't have to jump over it all the time. Caterium's behind this cliff, or behind that rock. I should have laid power while we were running, actually. Let me just go grab one of the power poles, extend it out this side. He was tough to beat. Okay, let's clear out some of the foliage. And let's start building the base. Got to clear the little coal nodes so that we can finish the building against the wall. Okay, let's see. We've got this coming out at 60. We've got this linked to the power. Okay, seems like our power has died. We're going to top that up. Let's just get all the logistics sorted here this side for the Caterium so long. Okay, so we've got this merger going into the splitter, so we can start putting it into the smelters. This machine puts out 60 in the smelter. Okay, we haven't done the research yet for the MAM. Let's do that. How much more Caterium do we need? Okay, we need 50. Great, that'll allow the miner to do its thing when we've got power. Now we can select that. Okay, so 45. This produces 60. So let's underclock that to 230s for now. So we know from previously that we can just put that at 10. That'll unclock it to 30. So let's just link up the splitters. Okay, those are both going to Caterium. We'll extend this platform a bit for the constructors. Get the merger going. But we can always expand out this way a little bit for the smelters, and we'll go this way for the constructors because we locked for space on this side. Might just go clear some trees underneath as well, so that they don't get in the way. Okay, that's all looking neat now. Let's head back to base and do a top up of the biomass and get the machines operating again. Eventually we'll get coal, which will be great, then we don't have to do this all the time. Because doing this by hand is rather painful. Just need one more stack. Okay, let's see the network. Okay, so we're basically just on the max, and when we throw in the constructors on the other side, that's going to be a problem. So let's throw in another 2 biomasses. Okay, we're short on plate. Let's just grab some iron off the belt here. Okay, that should be perfect for what we need. Okay, let's see the power max, 270. Great, that should give us more than enough. Okay, let's collect the ingots. And then we can actually do the hand in for the MAM for the next one, for the quicksilver. We need 50 ingots. Let's underclock this one as well to match the speed of the other one, so we got it working optimally. Okay, let's just wait for these to build up so we can do our research. Okay, we should have enough Caterium now to do the research for that quick. Great, that's 50. Okay, so now we can unlock the quick wire. That means that we can make them in the constructors. So let's start setting up our construct chain. And then how much we're building here? So we're getting 20 Caterium, 10 from each. And how much do we need for the quick wire? 12. Let's maybe take that, 12. We want it to be 10, so it needs to be 83.333. Great, so that we'll have 10 and 20. That's perfect, so let's link the power up. Let's get these quick wires on production. Okay, so that's 120 per minute. So what we can actually do is, oh, actually it's 100 per minute. Let's underclock this guy. So that means that we're going to need reinforced to put all of those in at the top speed. So now that bulb's going in at 120, and we've got the 250s there. So that's great. This will slowly build up over time. What we can actually do is we're not going to be in this area for a while after getting these, so the quick wire is just going to build up. So let's put a little bit more space between here and there, and we can actually link this up to our first resource sink. But we'll need the quick wire first to do the research for the smart splitter so that we can still top this up. So let's build up a couple more of the quick wire and see what we need to finish the research for the smart splitter. Yes, we need 100. I think the smart splitter is in this node over here, so we have to travel down this chain. Let's just wait for the next quick wire, and then we can do that research. Okay, let's do the research for the Caterium. AI limiter. Okay, so that's the next one down. So we just got to get the AI limiter research done. For that, we need to get some of the copper. So maybe what we do is we head back to our line where we've got those two coppers going through, one for the wire, one for the cable. Let's do a little bit of optimization there, and you can make 3 items from 2 of those chains, and then we can come back and get the smart splitter going. So let's link up possibly the awesome sync just to get us some tickets, and the tickets we'll use for unlocking some of the items. Just need to extend this a bit. And then this can continuously make us tickets while we on the map getting out the copper sheets production. That way when this folds up and clogs, we'll at least have the ability for the awesome sync to get the materials that we need as well. Yeah, our first ticket making. Great. Okay, let's go and get the copper sheets going. Now that that's neatened up, we can jump straight into actually changing and doing our additions to build the copper. So let's make this. First, these two are going to feed into the new cable chain on this side. So let's change that this one puts out this direction. And that's going to go directly into a constructor. And that's accepting 60 wire, which is perfect. So we're going to get a decent amount of cable. So now we got the 60 going into there to make cable 30, and we got the 60. So now we've actually fixed this bolts problem, and we can upgrade that later when we upgrade the miners and the chains when we've got more of our reinforced plate. But that's all we need to do to sort out the cable for now. Let's just re-link that up onto the main conveyor belt at the top. That's cable going up. So we're going to need to extend our logistics network one higher all the way for the new copper that we're going to be adding. But we got an entire free copper belt now. So this one's coming off at 60, and that's going through this chain correctly. So now all we need to do is to be able to take the top one and optimize that one. So let's feed that down. How much copper do we need for the sheets? 20. Okay, so we got 60 coming in, so we're going to need 3 constructors. Okay, and they produce 10, so we can have a belt of 30, taking all of the copper out. Okay, what I'll do now is I'll head back to the base over there, get some of the plates because we're running low. As you can see, we only got 2 left, and then we can start working the logistics on the top. So I realized now after coming back to the main base that we've been producing a lot of reinforced plates. And because of that, we're short on the iron plates. So I think let's optimize the chain for the screws, and then that'll obviously give us the plates through replacing those. So we can replace these to get the iron plates. So let's upgrade the network for the screws, and then we can get what we need. Okay, that chain's all been done. Reason why they're not moving is because the storages of that side are a little bit full. So we maybe can link that up to the awesome sink actually to start dumping some of that stuff. While we are this side, and before we go back to the base to do that, let's increase on the logistics on the top here now that we've got the plates we need. And now that we got that all linked, we can actually put this copper sheets up to the top. Great. That's going to all be linked up into the storage one, the new one. We actually need to go put down the storage and split that off there so that they can collect that. Here's this top line. It's going to be for the cable. Let's put one more on top for the copper sheet. And then we'll link up another storage facility here. Great. It's going to link up to there. Let's check inventory. Okay, so now everything is clogging up in our storage facilities, because obviously we've been producing over time here consistently. So I think it's a perfect time to also start linking into the awesome sinks. So what we're going to do is we're going to extend these with this direction, and then on that side we'll put the shops that are just going to, well, not the shops, the awesome sinks that are going to eat the materials. And then later on when we get to the more advanced one, we'll do the same thing on this side. So let me just flesh this out on this side. What might be nice as well is because we're going to be running out of plate now, because we're producing quite a lot of reinforced, we should actually head back there and actually increase the size and the output of the line in terms of the one that's making the iron plate. I think let's head over there and do that, and then we can set up more of the logistics this side as well. Everything's got a carry-on effect in this game. You gotta keep optimizing different channels to make what you're currently building better. Let's go find the one that's doing the iron plate. But the nice thing about doing, like I said, this build in this manner is it's easy enough for us to throw on extra now in terms of this side. So we've got the 60 coming in, we just need to increase this bolt over here. And then we can just throw in extra machines and we're April away. So let's go and optimize this chain now. Instead of producing 60 to produce 120. So we're going to need an additional 2 smelters. 1, 2. Okay, those are all linked up. I'm just going to tell them to make iron. Okay, and then we just got to increase this. So in anticipation for increasing this belt needs to be upgraded. Let's just start doing upgrades on these belts. Because we're going to be pushing through the 120 now into this zone. And then we can push up this production back up to 102. So that's it, we've got that going at 120, feeding into all the belts that have been upgraded. Let's check the biofuel while we're here. Okay, so we'll need to do top up of that just now too. Okay, this is looking good. And this has been upgraded. Okay, let's upgrade the rest of the chain now. Okay, so we got 30, so we're now coming in with 120, and these two are doing 60. Let's throw in another 2 constructors. Make sure they're making the iron plates. Okay, each of these are producing 20, so it's 2, 4, 6, 8. So again, we need to upgrade the belts. These two are putting through 40, and this is a 60, so we need to upgrade from here. Okay, how much do we have here? So we've got 15 being consumed here, 15 being consumed there, so that's 30 of the 80 we're producing. So we can actually extend this now, because then 40 will go in there and that's going to meet that back bolt requirement. So now we can actually get stuff back into the splitter, which is great. So because we're eating this line, we don't need to upgrade the reinforced all the way. So let's save some of the reinforced for something else to build. And meanwhile, that can now stack up inside our storage, 40 going that way and 40 coming this way until this gets backed up. And then obviously we'll have the 50 going that way. So that's great. Let's go back and just double check that our copper now is going into the storage. Should be the top line that we finished earlier. Yeah, I can definitely see it's holding it on the line. This should be building up. Yeah, why is this not building up? It's not coming into there. Let's go up and have a look. Oh, I got you just in time for it to come through. Nice. Okay, so that's going to come through into there. Let's just put something on the front so that we know what it is. We've already done that. Great. So that's the copper coming through for the copper sheet. And how many copper sheet do you need for the research again? Which is why we went on this whole mad chain. It was the Caterium. Okay, so we need 50. So I think let's run along the belt, get back to the base where the quick wire is. So I'll just run along here collecting as I get back to that side. And then, yeah, we can do the MAM research there. On the way back this way, I topped up the biomass with the extra biofuel, so the machines are still chugging along. Let's continue and do our MAM research. Now we can actually do the AI limiter research because we've got the copper sheets. And then the last thing we need is to make the 10 AI limiters to make the smart splitters, which is nice. So let's go head back now, and then we can make get the copper sheets to make the AI limiters, to do the research for the smart splitter, to make smart splitters, to do the dump for the resource sink for the extra materials that are now backing up the network. Then after that, we can come look at the poles and just make sure that we get that optimum. So then I like this to be flat. Let's build the remaining logistics so we can start doing the resource sync. Okay, we've got all of those bolts lined up. Let's collect the copper sheets. Now we can actually make some AI limiters. We need 10 for the research to make the smart splitter, so let's make those. Okay, we can now make smart splitters. Okay, but we need, for the smart splitters, we actually need rotors, reinforced, and AI. So let's make a handful of AI limiters. We're going to need one for each of these boxes. That's going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, with the exception of that last one. So we need 8 in total. And how many does it take to make a smart splitter? Okay, so we need 8 limiters. So let's make 8 of those. Here we shorten the quick wire. I'll shoot back that side, get some more of the quick wire, come back here, and then I'll replace all of these with the smart splitters. And the reason why we're doing that is currently that bolt's splitting. So you'll see here, let's say we've got 40 coming in on this bolt, 20 is coming down here, and 20 is going there. It's a forced split. With the smart splitter, you can actually control what goes where, and that's important. So let me head back that side, get the quick wire, come back here, we can finish making the AI limiters, and we can start doing those replaces as well. Back at the quick wire, we can now do the finishing production to make the AI limiters that we were missing. We're going to make 1 or 2 extra, and then we can actually do the overflow here while we're here for the quick wire. So I'll show you an example. Currently, it's the same problem that we have at the main base. This is just splitting between these two belts. So we got half dumping here while we're not full inside here. So This is the benefit of doing the smart splitter. So let me delete these lines, and I'll show you what that means. So we're going to go use our first smart splitter, link that there, this here. So now this line is saying any. So anything's going to go through from here into there. And you can see it's going through fast now because of our bolt speed. So let's do that. Now we can actually set overflow on the left-hand side. So only when this is completely filled will it start dumping into the machine on that side. So that's the advantage. Now this is going to clog up, and then it'll only start dumping in later. Now you can understand the benefit of what we're going to do that side at the main base in terms of doing the same thing coming off the belts into all the resource sinks. And this is slowly been earning us tickets. Not many, because obviously it's been going a little bit between these two lines, but we're going to get a lot more tickets once we link up that side, and then we'll have a look what we can get at the shop. Now that we're back at the main base, let's put in the smart splitters, and we can start dumping into the resource. So let's make 8 resource sinks, because that's what we need for, 8 awesome sinks, 1 for each of these storage facilities, and then we'll start feeding in the materials. Okay, we're going to need 5 more. Short on a bit of reinforced. Let's go grab. And I need to extend this for this last one, so let's just make this floor a little bit bigger. And we're only going to need to extend at the top level. So we're running short on plate until it's done. So we need 9 high. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that's great. Okay, let's put on the smart splitters now. Let's do our assignment. Make that 0. Quick hotkey it. Guess we want to go into the back of this machine, which is this. Roughly there. Now we need just to get up there to set the configuration for that. So let's use the belts to jump up. Okay, so we want right any and center overflow. So that's going to shoot down there now. And then we obviously want to come back here and change these smart splitters to smart splitters so that it feeds into there correctly. Let's do all of these. I'm still finished with linking with these ones. And now we just have to set all of these splitters. Okay, so we only want overflow going forward. We can actually copy the settings, so we don't have to set this manually. So let's copy that one, paste, do that all the way up the chain. Okay, now you'll see, for example, this isn't going to go along here anymore. It's going to go all the way down there first till that's clogged up. Then it'll only feed on the spouts. So that's great, because then we'll only get the things that we're wanting to dump away from the storages. So the storages will all get completely filled up. Once they're filled up, then it'll feed along the chains to go into the awesome sinks. Now we need spark splitters. We're going to need 8 more for each of these. Let's make those. And then when we link up the power, that's going to be a problem because it's going to trip the network because we're going to be overutilizing because these eat quite a lot of power. So let's finish this up and then we'll go and look at the power situation. Okay, so that's the plate, the concrete, the rods. Look at the next set, which is the screws. And the second bolt of screws. Wire. And it's just the copper. That's going to merge into there. That's not a problem. We'll just feed it down slightly on the left of that. And we'll drive it into the machine. Okay, and then the last one we've already done, yeah, because we set that one. And now we just have to set that these through the overflows. Overflow any, copy that. Let's do it for all of these ones now. And the last one's already been done. Great, let's link these up to the power. It's going to cause a power trip. And then we'll sort that out. How many more is it going to allow? There we go. As predicted. Okay, so we need to go and make this 500 max now. So that means we're going to need quite a few biomass converters on that side. Let's head back that way and then we can do that. Let's increase the biomass converters. Don't have space to grab those. Just dump anything in here for now and we'll come back for those resources. How are we doing? 450, 490. Okay, so we're going to need at least another, let's say 2 to be safe. So we can actually link this one up. Let's delete this one. That one there. Get some of our plate back. And that should be great once we actually link these two together. 510, 502. Okay, so if we throw anything else in the network, it's going to break it. So we might actually just, while we're here, let's just throw in a couple more just to be safe. Maybe just 1 or 2. Can't wait for the coal plants, then we don't have to worry about topping these guys up anymore. This should see us through until we get to that level. Okay, power's up and running. That means that our tickets are making a lot, or we're getting a lot of tickets from the resources we're going to be dumping, which means we shouldn't see any of these lines backing up. I suppose the next thing to do is just to go through the factory and let's see about optimizing everything, make sure everything's running smoothly. I want this line to be parallel, and then we can not have any spikes in the network whatsoever. I see we didn't set the copper sheets for these other two while we're here. It's part of why we do the optimization checks as well. Let's head to the start of the factory. We'll do a once through, making sure everything's ready. And then when we get to the next episode, we can look at making more advanced machines from the assemblers and bringing through the resources, the additional resources to this side to start processing them as well. Okay, let's head back there and start going through the factory. We're at the furthest end of the factory. Let's have a look. Okay, so this is coming out at 60. We got that running at half. It's currently 38% efficiency, but I presume that's just because of the build-up from the wire and the cable before we started using the awesome sink. As long as this is producing 60 on this belt, we're good. We can follow that. This is also producing 60, so we got 2 lines of 60 copper coming in on the top 2 lines over here. Let's go and check those. Okay, this is feeding to 2 smelters, 30 each, which is perfect. And these ones also 2 smelters, 30 each. Okay, so we got a channel of 60 on this line, 60 on that line. Feeding out to the top 2 belts here, 60 each. This line over here doesn't have a smart splitter, so this is backed up, so all 60 is going down here. And that's leading to 4 machines here that are doing wire. Okay, so that copper chain's looking good. So we got 3, 6, 9, 12, 120 being produced, 60 on that channel, which is great because that line takes 60. Then we're putting the other 60 combined into a merger here for these. So that's producing at 30, which looks like it had a backlog, so that's why it looks like it's full. You'll see this was obviously 200 before I did the dumping for the awesome thing. So now that's running, so that sounds good. Then we've got the next one of 60 coming from the other copper line into 2, 4, 6. And now these are all making copper sheets. So we make 30 copper sheets here. So that's awesome. So we got 60 wire, 30 cable, and 30 copper sheets. So that's nice and easy to remember. When we unlock the signs after buying some tickets, we'll make notes on the system by the storages. Let's check the cement line or the limestone. So the copper's looking all good. Oh, limestone's up that way. Okay, this we got coming at the 120 with a 120 belt all the way through to the bottom. Coming in here at 120. So these machines should all be underclocked. Yep, for a 12. That's looking great. Those are all merged into the belt this side, producing 13.3 times 3, which is definitely under 60, feeding all the way along. So there's no backup or anything on that line. So limestone's looking good. Let's check the iron. So we should have 2 running at 160 and 1 running at 120 because we upgraded the plate line. So this one at 120 looks like it's clogging up, which is the increased one. So we must just check that. Something's wrong with the iron plates, maybe. This is for the iron rods, and this is for the screws. So those are both running at 60. Again, this is backlogged. So we'll check the first. Let's check the whole chain. Definitely not using something correctly here. I think let's start off with the bottom of the 3 because we got those. Let's check them all in the factory here. So the bottom floor is used for the iron. Okay, so this one should be coming off at 120. Definitely got 120 leading in here from that fast line. But yeah, we're definitely not eating the resources we need. So let's follow this line and see what's happening because it's causing a backup in the machines. Have we increased the belt speed? Is that the problem? We just hadn't upgraded that one belt. I think that might be it. So this is looking consistent now. Okay, so let's check these ones. These should be running at 60. So we don't need to upgrade the belts, but this is definitely not consuming everything it should because it's not moving all the time. So definitely let's look across the board at the iron on the constructor side. Okay, it's not feeding in here. So this is the problem. We've got a 120 line coming in, and then this one's going to there. Let's just increase these belts. Now that should be going through correctly. So we got 120 coming down here off this line. Something definitely isn't coming through quicker here. Yeah, it's starting to look good. Yeah, that's running optimally now. That's coming in at 120. You can see it's not skipping. And these lines have all been upgraded. So those machines should fill up now. Which means that line's good. Just got to check the next 2 lines. Let's have a look at this one. These are only eating 30 at a time. Or 15 at a time. And we got 60 coming in. And again, that was probably because of the backlog of the chain for the awesome sinks. So these should slowly start catching up. It looks like these belts are moving quite nicely. This one, and that one's not. And that's just because, like I said, we need to eat these resources. If I came and took all the iron rods out of these machines, I presume it would go equally between them. Let's see. So this isn't clogged up. This is going smoothly on this side. This is clogging, so let's just double check the 120 line that we've upgraded here on this, because this has been upgraded to 120, but it looks like it's staggering. So definitely a problem with the screws. We'll go and check at the storage facility because this is clogging. This is running smoothly, so definitely no problem here. So it looks like the screws is the one that's the issue. Let's follow that chain to the end. Okay, so the problem is that when I did the resourcing, I didn't use, oh no, I did use the conveyor belt. There you go. So I didn't upgrade this line correctly when I placed the conveyors. So this is coming in too slow. So let's increase that, because that's coming in at 120. Same thing for the other screw line. So it's going to be this one as well. There you go. Now those are coming through at 120. That means that the storages must be full on this side, because that's the only reason why the overflow would be going there. Yep. And now let's check the dump for the rods. That's coming through. Yep, that's looking good. Okay, so we look like we equal there. Let's have a look at one of the poles and see how's our flat going here. Still not exactly where we want it to be. Now, obviously this is going to vary a bit, and that's just because these machines are eating the materials at a different rate. So they're still using up the power, but not necessarily eating them, and sometimes there's a gap between them. So we're going to see some variance. What we can do is we can actually disconnect them temporarily just by doing this line over here, and then we should see that it should start flattening out quite a bit better. As soon as obviously the screws and everything else catches up that side. So I'll give it some time to catch up and to stabilize, and then we can have a look. Okay, so I've given the factory some time to stabilize. As you can see, the machines are running 100% efficient in all the factory, so that's great. That means that things are working very well in terms of the production, eating the resources, feeding them to the machines, and all the awesome things. So we're generating tickets as we go, which is going to be great. In the meanwhile, what I've also done is I've specified and created a little dumping zone for all the extra resources that we don't want. So this is going to help us get more tickets and help manage our stash a bit better. And then I built the shop, and inside the shop we can go do different things for power management, walls, architecture, everything. And we'll start buying some once we've built up a bit of tickets. So I'll let the system run for a bit so that we can do some shopping in the next episode. Final thing that I wanted to do now is just to build the space elevator. Let's build that, and then we can start working on the next set of series upgrades for the hub and more advanced machines in the next one. I love this animation. This thing is absolutely massive. I don't know what's more satisfying, building this the first time or sending up the materials later. Great, now that we've unlocked and we've built the space elevator, we can work on the completing of objective 1 in the top right here, and that's what we'll also do in the next episode. And then we can do the hand-in. Well, yeah, for the next set of tier 3 and tier 4 rewards. I think we've done on tier 1 and 2 bar the jelly pad, or the jump pad. We can actually hand that in. Let's do that and do the last couple of rotors. Yeah, that means we've completely done tier 1 and 2.
Milestone reached.
So that's
Several
perfect. And then we'll
buildings aimed
unlock
at
3 and
factory
4
traversal can now
for
be
that one later.
accessed in the
So the next thing we're going to do is anticipation for that is we're going to bring over all the resources from this portion of the map along a bridge there up into our stack there. And the same thing with the starter little factory that we did over there for the cement. So we got the cement there, the coal there, the salt and the Caterium. Those must all come over the hill that side to the logistics system. And the same thing from down here. We've got the 3 coal nodes, one behind the cliff there, the iron and the copper. So we've got 5 from here, 4 from there. So we're going to stack 9 high additionally there, bring the processing, and then start working on the steel and things later that we get from unlocking the objectives of the next phase. But I think that's perfect for today's episode. We'll work on that on the next. Lots to do. Super excited. Great. See you guys in the next one.